Okay. That should be right. Boop. There we go. That's posted and things are doing things and stuff and yeah.
Lies and slander.
Up there's the thingy saying we're live.
Yep.
Ugh.
We should be up. We should be going. I don't know how incredibly delayed that's going to be, but I got the chat here on the side for while we're talking and everything like that. And I posted because, look, okay, so we have one and we don't really talk about it too much. There is a Discord for Fandom Night. And so.
What?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
So that's posted in the chat for people to get or whatever if they really want it, and I'll probably post it a couple more times here and there. But like the idea is to give people a chance to even know about it. Maybe if some traffic starts going there, we'll start actually adding channels and working on it. Because right now there's really just like there's the general channel, there's a place for links, and then there's like 5 or 6 discussion areas like audio channels and whatnot. Because originally when it was put there, it was like for streams and when we were doing things like Sons of Khan and crap like that. That's why it was even created.
I miss that show.
I do
Same.
too. Yep.
I mean, to be fair, fucking, if you want to do a Sons of Khan, I mean, I think I may have ESO on this computer. If not, it'd be a quick download.
Well, it'd be STO. You'd have
Or
to
STO, rather.
He's all like, "Where the fuck are you? I got my elf and everything."
Fucking,
I'm flying a starship.
Where do you get the starship? I only got a horse. This is bullshit.
I mean, I'm shooting phaser rifles and... What? All I got's this gay-ass sword, man!
No shit. Oh my
Fucking
god.
stupid elf! Man, you should have started as a human.
So we're basically we're gonna fucking wing it like we fucking used to and talk about stuff and fandom and things and whenever we get the chance, people that have joined the Discord and whatnot, we're going to try to bring them in here and there and actually talk to some fans too, so that's a thing. I don't know how this is going to go for multiple reasons. People have gotten very used to seeing us live Saturday morning, and I get that. And so I don't know what our traffic is even going to look like, because this is going to be weird. It's Friday night. Most people won't even know that we are on.
right.
This was very unplanned because life is happening, and because life is happening and everything's kind of wonky, it's causing issues here and there. It's just the way that it is. It's like work schedules have changed. The heat is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
We all have like adult lives and things, and then Nick has a job where he can be on call, and he will be this weekend. And so like one thing after another kind of snowballs, and before you know it, it's hard to maintain and guarantee the Saturday. Well, it's not that we'd be able to guarantee this time slot either, but we wanted to do something. Otherwise, we'd end up a whole month without doing anything. So we figured we'd just come in and run like a straight-up old-style episode almost. You know what I'm talking about?
It was either this or Chroma Squad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like it. Look, man, I like that game. Everyone seems to enjoy that game, kinda. I'm tired.
Well, I know all about kinda liking a game and then finding out that you just don't have the energy for the dog shit or whatever else comes with said game.
I mean, it's more along the lines of I could play games right now as long as I don't have to strategize. And Chroma Squad is, oh wait, let me think. It's a tactical role-playing game.
Oh yeah. So Matthew, here's the idea. I posted a link already in the chat. That is the Discord. If you are on Discord, if you have Discord, you can join that server. And if you have a mic and yada yada, we're going to take some actual fan phones, fan calls and whatnot. We're going to talk to some people here and there. and we're gonna hang out. This is an old school fandom night episode. This is where we get on and we talk fandom, and the show's been very much slowly kind of reverting back to this, but we used to almost be a radio show. Like, we used to just talk everything and anything, that whatever happened to be going on, wherever the conversation took us, and we used to talk fandom, and that was whatever topics. So you guys might even have some stuff here in the chat. If you guys got something, if you think about something, if you have questions or whatever, ask them, and we'll pick them up from time to time. We'll get in there and try to figure out, who's saying what or yada yada. Because, yeah, there is a lot at any given time to talk about all the time when it comes to fandom. It's especially with us. We are not a one fandom people. We don't like one thing. We like a ridiculous amount of stuff. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Yeah. I also
we did a Bruce Lee episode. We did an entire fucking series on the legacy of different Vigia games and shit.
Yep, because we talked Mega Man, Back to the Future. We talked Mega Man, Pokemon. We talked a little bit of Mario. We talked we did Metal Gear. Entire fucking run on Metal Gear. We talked about, of course, Final Fantasy at length.
We did 2 runs on that one.
2 runs of Final Fantasy, yeah.
Wait, did we ever finish
the 2 runs feel like we did it 3 times.
And we talked, I remember, we also talked about, and I'm going to fuck this name up, is it Sudekin?
Suikoden.
Is that how you say that?
Suikoden.
Whatever. I'm gonna go with whatever your guys' pronunciation is, because I don't fucking know. I've never heard it said out loud. But because of that, I remember we talked about that game, and we talked about some tea, and we
Seth didn't like the concept tea.
He goes,
goddamn right.
There was a fucking town 1 screen over. That was so fucking fantastic. I'm telling you. I love that game. And by the way, holy shit, yes, they are remastering part 1 and 2 in a collection. I saw it on Steam while I was searching for something else. And it just happened to pop up while I was going through RPGs and lists and whatnot. And I was like, holy shit. So I clicked on it, and yes, it is the original 2 games that were on PlayStation. It is very remastered. It looks like the sprites could have been done a little better, but the backgrounds are very, very blatantly remastered. Like, they look like they've been redrawn. And all of the character portraits are redrawn in more modern anime styles. So you can really tell, like, you remember the house, the guy that ran the household stuff, Jeremo or whatever? You can tell he's an elf now. You couldn't really tell in the original game, but you can blatantly tell he is an elf.
I didn't even know he was supposed to be an elf.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like,
I just thought he was a dude.
The character portraits are so much more detailed than they were before. It looks fantastic. Like, I watched that trailer like 2 or 3 times and was like, holy fuck. All right, and put it on my wish list immediately because I was like, I'm gonna buy it. There's just no way I can't buy it. Like,
all right. Well, now the question I have is we're at our normal, like, 5-ish minutes of BS, and I've already got somebody begging to come on.
No, if you really
should I go ahead?
No, if you really do, yeah, let's test this. We've never done this. We don't know how it's going to work. This could be a disaster, and you'll be here to check it out. You can check out the disaster with us.
And if it's a disaster, we will never do it again.
That's true, but I don't think it should be too big of a disaster. First up to the stage is everybody's friend Ronan Ryder.
Now, to be fair, we've done direct shows with him, so I'm not worried about that.
You have to remember, I am the god of fucking things up.
Yeah, not wrong.
That one time,
like scores, scores when it comes with, like, I don't know, Riderman or Bill's Pyramid.
We played,
or not having silence for basic math.
We played Mega Man years ago on the Nintendo with a Game Genie. It had infinite life, and Anthony died on a boss. I don't even know how he did it.
Better not have been Toad Man.
To this day, I have no clue how it happened, but he died. He lost all of his life.
Anthony doesn't count, Bill.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Like, there are certain levels of fuck up that even I cannot get to.
So what's up, man?
Nothing much. You know, did a toy fair this past Sundays, and if you like check out the regular Discord, like, and go to the collection, you'll see what I got.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, Bill's Discord. Yeah.
Managed to find like a good chunk of the Jim Ballot Catwoman run, which I was not expecting to find. Found like, you know, a good few trade paperbacks here and there for a good price and that. But otherwise, I don't know. Like, I guess if I were to just shoot out a question, like, I know you guys got stuff going on and all that. So
Yeah.
Not really enough time to watch stuff like, say, Sentai or Rider or Ultraman.
Well, that depends. We've been in discussion about that for a while because we want to get back to watching and reviewing series. For a while, it was a problem with they were taking it off the streaming stuff, and then some of our people just could not watch it. But actually, I think that's being fixed. It is
YouTube.
YouTube is starting to get full series.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
we'll get there eventually.
I was gonna say, if you guys are planning, like when you're finally planning, okay, let's do Kamen Rider. I know you guys would normally want to do like from the very beginning, but just gonna tell you this now: original Rider series is over 90 episodes. You are going to crash and burn if you try to do all 90.
Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out for the final episode of Fandom Night. I think we're done here.
Okay, look, as somebody who slogged with Scott through watching fucking Kamen Rider Black in like fucking 180p on, or it wasn't fucking Black or whatever.
Bad.
That fucking it was like 180p on fucking YouTube to watch that shitty fucking.
Oh, you mean Masked Rider? You mean Masked Rider?
Yeah, yes, Masked Rider.
It was so bad.
With the only fucking upside being the fucking porn star mom trying to be fucking Peggy Bundy.
Look,
like,
I can't remember exactly what was going on, but see, here's the thing. I watched half of that and wasn't even in the episodes because I kept thinking that I might make it. So like,
you never did.
I'm trying to
until the last one.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it on fucking YouTube, and he's right. It's like 180p. It's blurry as shit. You can't see. Like, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck even just happened? And I'm getting like, I'm like 4 episodes in, and I'm like, God, I don't want to fucking throw myself down a staircase. Like,
it's like I'd rather be watching this shit on a Game Boy Advance, like the old Game Boy videos.
I almost can't believe. I'm going to tell you right now. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I would rather watch the next mutation twice. 2 times in a row than watch that again. Ever.
I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. And he's not kidding, man. There were a few times where literally I was quoting fucking Markiplier going, "What's happening? I can't see through all the fucking pixels." Like, it was so horrible, but Scott and I fucking slogged through that.
Ronan just reminded me of it. He's right. I forgot about this till he just said it, but it did look very reminiscent to when I used to have like episodes of Dragon Ball Z on the Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
That's what it fucking looked like.
Oh my lord!
Except
good old memory.
I was able to maximize the screen to fully enjoy the shittiness.
We could sit around and fucking watch goddamn Shrek on the fucking Game Boy. Fucking might as well.
But over 90 episodes of the original series. But I do know there are some guides out there that are like, okay, here are some key episodes you should watch, and then everything else is pretty much filler that you don't have to watch. So I'll try to find that for you guys. But if you were to watch something Showa related, I would recommend Kamen Rider Black followed by RX.
Now you listen and you listen well, God damn it. We do things the way we do things around here.
Which is
I'm just
terribly.
saying because
Which is wrong.
I'm just saying. I am just saying because again, you guys would just get burned out by like episode 13 tops.
Oh, good sir, I believe you are overestimating my ability of not burning out. I'll be burnt out by episode 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering the monsters that you saw for the show era, which, by the way, they do get better. Trust me, the monsters get way better.
I fully believe they get better. There's no doubt in my mind, but holy shit, those early monsters, they're so unreasonably bad. And
yes, they are.
Like, they're unreasonably bad. It kind of blows my mind when I look at other shows that were playing around the same time. And I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? Like,
smoking a lot of crack.
Or pot, considering it was the 70s.
Yeah.
No,
but yeah,
no,
when you get to Shadow Moon, when you get to Shadow Moon, I bet you more than anything, you're all gonna give away your Genesis to that.
Okay.
But yeah, like, and if I were to say, okay, start with Heisei, either go with Kuga, which is more of a cop drama than anything, but it works with the whole like supernatural and fantastical elements. But I'd say if you really want to start like clean slate, no previous knowledge, but get the gist of the entirety of the franchise, definitely start with Kamen Rider Double, considering, you know, it just got its own sequel with the anime Futo PI.
Now, I've thought about once or twice, just for the sake of, I've considered like
God damn it, Seth.
Yeah, damn it, Seth, I knew you'd make that. Ain't that cute? But it's wrong!
I thought about running a couple of movies, because it'd be something that I know that we could get through and get at least a general run of things. Because, man, like, doing Rangers has been one thing. And,
yeah.
Like, I've watched a couple Sentai, but, like, if it was even possible, I don't know if I'd want to, but if it was even possible to get my hands on an entire run, uncut, of Go Ranger, I still don't think I'd want to start there and, like, watch it and review it. I have a feeling...
Right. Yeah, there's actually a fan sub out there that just finished with Go Ranger, so... It's pretty much all right there. Again, I could shoot you guys the website that pretty much has everything that is subbed.
I want to say I watched nearly 20 episodes of Go Ranger. It was when we were very first doing this, I'd found episodes. And I want to say I found them on YouTube. And I started noticing pretty quick that they were getting takedowns. So I just started watching them as quickly as I could get whatever I could get my hands on. So they were kind of scattered and random. Like, I'd see, like, episode 1 and 2, but then, like, 3 and 4 wouldn't exist, and I'd find 5, and I'd be like, okay, this is where I am now.
Yeah.
Because you know what I would rather watch? Tokuger.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I want some train Ranger. All right.
Nick, look, despite the big train theme, despite the putties being cool... Tokuger is an absolute goddamn nightmare because the Red Ranger won't shut the hell up.
And?
I despise the son of a bitch. He's basically a part of a trope where the Red Rangers are always right, are always the main focus, and doesn't focus on the team. In fact, the team basically become cheerleaders. And it's a trope that needs to die. Now, if you really want to, like, laugh your ass off and actually be invested, Akiba Ranger. Akiba Ranger is definitely up your alley. Even though, like, there's a lot of references that'll go over your head.
Yeah, I saw some of that because fucking Scott had bought it. I can't remember if we were at a convention or what, but Scott had it. It was like in this big fat DVD case.
It was probably a bootleg.
Either that,
That's a
or
bootleg.
he may have ordered it online.
I want to say maybe he did order it online. I just remember he had it because he brought it over with him one time, and I went through I may have went through 10 to 15 episodes or something like that for a while, and I was watching, and it's some goofy shit. To be fair, it's one of those Sentais where it's blatantly you can tell you're not supposed to take it serious. You're supposed to be along for the ride and laugh and be a part of what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, and if you love Sentai and is as much of a nerd as the main characters are, then you'll get all these little inside jokes and references. Also, Renato is kind of right. Yeah, Shin Kamen Rider, that would be a great place to start.
Right.
Because
no, go ahead, finish up.
Because again, it's basically essentially took what what's his name? Is it I'm getting my Hidekis mixed up with between Ano and Kamiya. I think it's Ano who's doing.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I think he's glitching.
Yep.
He's fun to be dead.
Interrupted.
Oh, that's no good.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not on our side. Something happened. Something
happened directly to
he'll
Ronan.
either come back or he won't. Yes.
All right. I say we give Ronan like a minute and a half, and then after about a minute and a half, no offense to you, man, because I've already got like 4 other people DMing me directly going, I'm ready, let me on.
That's fantastic. No.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to come on and tell us that there are real options, and if he sends us some of those lists, it's worth the thing of it. Look, one of the reasons we walked away from some of the reviews, right? Is a big part of why we walked away with some of the reviews is because it was tough to guarantee that we could all watch it. But when you talk about websites, we've all got internet. We could all take 20 minutes out of our day, knock out 5 episodes in a week, and come in and talk about what we're seeing and what the influence is.
Yeah, and
right.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm using my phone and I have to restart my computer because it's acting like a piece of derp. But what I was trying to say is that that the current Shin films, Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, took the basics from the originals and just set them in modern day. And it's a lot more streamlined that way.
Right.
So it's a lot easier, it's a lot easier for a modern audience to digest instead of, weird camera shots, goofy costumes, and just, the psychedelics of the time.
So I noticed you said, here you go.
I'm working on it.
Okay, I was going to say, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
shit.
Well, fuck. Hold on. I got to fix this.
I can send
apparently
it.
They
I was going
apparently
to say,
changed
Bill
it.
technically can pin it.
Yeah, it's right there. I can send it. Because I purposely kept it just in case we needed to use it.
Was that for your server or the actual main server?
That should be.
Okay.
That should be for the main. And like I said, Bill should be able to, since he's in the actual Fandom Night account, he should be able to make it a pinned comment kind of thing. So it'll always be there. But either way, like I said, I've already got a bunch of people wanting to hop in on the episode.
Okay.
So any other? All right.
Let's talk.
Thanks for hopping in for a little bit, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, no problem. I'll keep watching though.
Right on, man.
If this is something that works,
have a good weekend.
I'm up for it. I like radio shit.
All right, so
yeah, but you don't have a face that not even radio loves.
Dang, I remember Dad said that shit.
I do.
I know. No, Dad said that shit to me, and we all laughed, and then I almost exploded.
All right, so next up we have our one of our, I would say, regular commentators in terms of the chat. We've got he's known as Renato in the chat. We all know him as Giorno whenever we end up hanging out in the Discord server and doing any type of talking. So Jorno should be. Yep, looks like he's trying to pop in now. There he is.
Okay, what's up, guy?
Hello there, boyos.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
So I saw Ronin and shit. So before I say anything, like the thing you guys were trying to pronounce at the beginning, Suikoden or whatever, can you guys spell that shit? Because I'm a fluent Japanese speaker, I could probably tell you how it's pronounced.
Hold on.
Off the top of my head, I cannot, but somebody will put it in the chat here. So
Yep, I'm about to talk.
I fucking loved that game.
Here.
That game is fantastic.
Welcome.
It's so good, man. There's like
There you go.
130 plus characters, like for each one, and the whole point is you build a rebellion or you lead an army, and the more characters you find and recruit along the world map through different quests and whatnot on the RPG, you gain stuff for your armies. And not every character you get is like a main character that you play with. It's not like a character that you put in your team.
There are 108 recruitable people in the very first game, and about 30 of them are actual combat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a guy that you get on your team that the only thing that he does is he adds an elevator to your castle. That's it. If you go out of your way to do the side quest to get him, he will come to your castle, and you don't have to walk up the stairs.
First off, no offense, but that just sounds like shittier Fire Emblem.
No, because Fire Emblem is a very different game. This is very much a turn-based, like, Final Fantasy-esque game.
Yep. Yeah, the way that this would work, if I had to pin it to anything else, it would essentially be like the precursor to what would end up becoming one of my favorite RPGs ever, Skies of Arcadia. Because you can go out and basically recruit people to become crew members on your ship, and there are certain crew members that will actually like add to the attack of your ship. Others will add to defense. Some will make your magic better. Some will make your ability to repair the ship faster. Some make items work better. Mm-hmm. And it's not all just, hey, I need this cannon. I need, this type of gear on top of my ship. And then as well, when your main cast of like 4 people are in combat, if you can fill your spirit gauge all the way up, you can literally call down all of your pirate crew to go and like beat the shit out of the enemy. And each one of them does something different, whether that be heals your team or harms the enemy. And you have to figure out who's got the best stuff for what you need in terms of either healing your crew or damaging the enemy on top of what they do for your ship.
Okay, if Nick was saying that Chroma Squad tired them out because it was a tactical RPG...
No, I mean, like, my brain with how bad work has been this week, especially how hot it has been the last couple of days, and the fact that the last 40 minutes of my shift today, I was standing in between 2 smoldering, burnt houses. So, it was extremely hot.
Well, holy shit. But
yeah, I don't have the mental fortitude to play it today.
Yeah,
and not fuck up.
I can see that.
No, I get that.
And also
games that I'll avoid if I'm feeling a certain way.
Also,
like right now,
don't you worry yourself, Nick. You're not the god of fucking up. That's another person. I don't know if I should say names.
Away from me,
so are you saying this is Suikoden?
Suikoden, but yes, I'm fluent in Japanese native level actually.
So it's Suikoden.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I've never heard it said out loud. There's a couple of things, like for years and years I've read Red Sonja and Conan the Barbarian. I've read it for fucking years, but I've never ever heard them say this one thing out loud. I've never seen it said. And I don't know if it's Hierarchania. That's the way I've taken to say it lately, is I think it's called Hierarchania. But
how is it spelled?
I have no idea if that's how it's actually done, because I just don't know.
So well, the thing is, I'm accustomed to seeing English speakers butcher Japanese.
Well,
Like,
this wouldn't be Japanese, but yeah.
wait, what do you mean it wouldn't be Japan? Well, higher Arcadia,
Well,
no, but weaker then, but like.
Conan the Barbarian is definitely American made.
I'm not talking about that, but whatever. Anyway.
No, that's what Bill was going on about.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
I've
then.
never
But
seen
yeah,
that word.
also-
And then there's also other things too. Like I've heard people argue so many games where it's like old games where it was very.
I swear to
blatant,
God,
like,
Bill, if you
here
bring
it
up
comes.
one specific
I'm gonna fucking
thing,
do it, motherfucker. I'm gonna do it.
If you guys say Nansei,
His name is Yang. I don't know why his name is Yang.
oh, that's fine. That's fine. You
shouldn't-
can do that.
It should
I thought you
be
guys were gonna-
Yang. It should be Yang.
I thought-
That's the way we said it for years when we were growing up. That's the way it looks. It's Yang. But
It's
when
all right. They
finally
fucked up Rydia's name.
When they
They
finally
call her
moved that-
Rydia.
yeah, when they finally moved that game to the 3DS and voice acted it, his name is Yang. And there's a bunch
Yes.
of games that do that shit, where when you're reading it, you'll read it one way. Like there's this dragon I know of.
I swear to God, Bill, I will drop out this fucking
the fuck are
episode
you all
so
on a-
fast.
What the fuck are you all on about? What the?
Oh, shit.
How different dialects are all over the world. Like the
Okay,
proper
and,
enunciation is Ifrit.
Yeah,
And
but like for a second there,
What'd you say there, buddy?
Oh, you heard me.
What?
That's not how it-
Bahamut.
Bahamut?
I
Bahamut.
will slap the piss out of you both.
But see, that's exactly what I mean.
Bahamut,
That's like the
Paul,
whole. That's the
Bahamut.
whole
Okay.
Titus thing. They never say his name in a game that is voice acted. Nobody ever said his name that whole game. And I
Right.
know a comedian whose name is Titus. And since they never say his name, that's what I assumed it was until people started
It's
telling me it was
Titus.
Titus. However, in
Not
the
really,
game
it's
Kingdom Hearts,
Titus.
in the game
Titus.
Kingdom Hearts, they use his name in two different parts of the game, and one character voice acts him saying Titus, and the other calls him Titus in the same fucking game.
And
Yep.
what's funny is that neither of them are correct. And what's funny,
Tidus?
Titus. It's Latin, so the U is always ooh. Titus.
What?
Like, I'm not joking.
That honestly
All right,
would not
well,
fucking surprise
This
me.
has been a fun
That's
episode.
what-
Everybody
I'm
be
leaving.
wrong.
That's
Bro, that's why
wild to me.
bro, let me speak. That's why it's Bahamut, because it's a U. The U is
But that's-
ooh. Hamut.
That's just like with Batman. Everybody argues about Raish or Raz. They always argue. Some people say Raz Al Ghul. Some people say Raish Al Ghul. And people always argue as to which is the right one. I've seen entire YouTube debates
Wait,
about
isn't it Ra Al Ghul?
See, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Some people will call him Raish Al Ghul. Some people will call him Raz Al Ghul. And you just
Well,
said
the difference there. The thing is, like, you gotta know where the languages are coming from. Like, you can't say like, oh, it's like Bahamut is Hebrew. Like, it's not gonna be the same as English.
right,
You know what? Pronounce those two words.
Which ones?
The two words I just typed into the
But
little
that's
thing.
fucking English, you dumbass. But that's funny.
Moot and mutt? Is that right? What?
Yep.
No, but I get it. But at the same time,
So you're telling me if we delete one T, it becomes moot?
well,
In Hebrew and in Spanish and in Latin and in not in
That's-
English, but
and that's where things can also get complicated too, because like
Yep.
okay, that's just like here in America they've changed certain anime characters' names because of the R and L sounds. So here in America they'll name somebody Luffy, or you get the idea. and then when they go over there, they'll spell it correctly. And they did the same thing with Krillin. Krillin is spelt differently over there.
Yeah, it's Kurin over there.
Over here, it's spelt the way that it would sound, so that people over here would say it right. And yeah. So
also, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you all say Luffy and not Luffy, since Bahamut, Luffy.
No, but see, but that's just it. That's just it too. You're misunderstanding where we're coming from on one part. When you're introduced to something, okay? If I was to tell you that my character, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I'm currently writing a book. I'm pretty decently into it right now. If I was to tell you my name, the character's name is Bara, what is that?
Bara.
Okay, is it?
Oh,
could be Bara.
I mean, depends on what language it's supposed to be. Like,
it's fake.
Yep, fake language.
What language is inspired by?
It's just like Lord of the Rings, buddy. It's fake. So what is it? Until I say it out loud, you're really just guessing. And when you play certain games, sometimes certain games will put something in your face, and they'll be like, "This is the thing," and you'll just without thinking about it, you'll create the pronunciation from your own from where you sit, from your experiences.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's the thing. Some fake shit needs to be inspired by something else. Like, it doesn't just come out of the fucking head.
No, not necessarily. Because while sometimes things are very much inspired, and while some things you can say like, okay, but like if I took a Middle Eastern influence and a Western influence and put them on top of each other and created a whole new world off of that, then you don't know exactly what I'm pulling from when I'm pulling from it.
Yeah, true. But
so it can confuse you if something is written and you've never heard it. And then it gets even worse when something comes over here and say we say it wrong. And then it's too late because it's already bled into the consciousness of the people that are here. Like, and this fucking makes me fucking crazy, but his name is Gohan, right? Well, for some reason, over here, there were 2 different dubs and a movie that called him like Gohan.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. But to be completely honest, Goku is technically pronounced wrong in English.
See? So until somebody says it,
Goku.
And then once it's said out loud, but once it's said out loud, that's it. It's in the public persona. That's what people hear. It's what they think. And so,
and technically, you're both wrong. It's Kakarot, but
and even if you go further than that, there's other problems with it too. Because, like, okay, look at Street Fighter. Who am I talking about? Who am I talking about? No, who am I talking about? Who is Vega?
All right.
Who is it?
Vega. In Japan, Psycho Crusher. In the rest of the world, fucking Wolverine, man.
Right. But that is because here we had to change it. And because of that situation, when we talk about it, if we're talking about it and you hear me just say it and there's no pictorial context and there's no background context to it, you're guessing as to what it is I'm exactly talking about. You're guessing. And your assumption could be wrong.
Yeah, anyways.
Spoony
for a second there, when you suddenly said the whole young thing, for a second there, I thought you were gonna say fucking, I don't know, Dan Seiba, but like,
that's his name.
I don't know.
Danzeba.
Still, Danzeba.
Nope, I played that game since I was fucking 12. Danzeba. That's exactly what he says. And if the character himself pronounces his own name that way, I'm sorry, that's his name.
Yep.
But that's just like I said. There's a guy here in America who's a famous comedian. His name spelt the exact same way. His name is Titus.
Yep. Which, speaking of, I actually have an episode of Titus ready to fucking go on my podcast.
I have a couple of his stand-ups that I still need to get through.
Oh no, not
I
the
was-
stand-ups. His actual podcast, Armageddon Update. They drop a
Anyway,
new one every
so-
Friday. Oh well.
So, well, I was gonna say like something I've noticed. Like, I get it. Like, you guys aren't Japanese speakers, so you're not gonna understand it. Like, just and I know fucking Shane's butcher's names is a fucking running gag, but
Yep.
just something for the future. If you guys see if you guys see in a Sentai thing or in a Toku thing that something ends in GER, it's not ger, it's jer, because ranger. It's not ranger. It's not.
No, and that's fair.
That's just like the L sounds. It takes.
Yeah.
That's also.
So it's not Tokyuger. It's Tokyuger because
Yeah, but
ranger.
Yeah, it's Tokyuger.
That's training
Yeah.
over here too. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah.
It's like I said, we're conditioned to hear something or feel like something is a certain way. So it takes time, and that's the hardest part of learning another language in general, is to learn the nuances of what changes from one thing to another, not just the meaning of the words, but the way they're pronounced in general. And the
Yeah, like
pronunciation
there and there.
can massively change something.
It's even
there,
more
there, or
difficult.
base, and base.
It's even more difficult. It's even more difficult when the language you're trying to learn has a completely different set of sounds for the alphabet.
Yes. No,
Oh,
absolutely.
you're not wrong.
I didn't have to worry about that because Russian, Japanese, Greek, and Spanish, all four of those have the exact same sounds for all the letters. So butchering
Right. Remember how
And
the
to
entire
be
alphabet
fair-
goes in Spanish.
it's
I know
almost
most of
impossible-
it.
It's almost impossible to butcher Japanese and Spanish, honestly. Except for a few.
You do not know my
sounds.
ability to not say words right.
Bro, you speak English. I said Spanish.
Do
Are
I?
you Espanol? Are you-
No, seriously, do I? Because I'm pretty sure while I was at work today, I fucking said like numbers wrong. They're fucking numbers. They're universal.
I mean, you
How do you
are an
say 'em
American.
wrong?
So, just kidding, but like,
All right. Well, I would
Just
say
kidding.
go ahead and give us any final piece that you may have, because I've got two more people ready to go, man.
God damn it, like, literally, I was planning something and I was planning to say some shit and we ended up going on
This
a
isn't
fucking
the only
tangent.
time we'll be doing
Dude.
this.
Yep. And
Yeah,
this
we
is
might
how
revisit
we do
this.
shit.
I'll just say one thing. I'll just say one thing directed to somebody. Don't believe what Ronin says about fucking Tokyuger. That series is fucking amazing, but yeah, Shin Kamen Rider is gonna be like her best
hear
bet.
that fan shit? You hear that fan shit happening right there? That's fan shit. That's when somebody likes
Right.
a thing and somebody doesn't like a thing, and they're like, "No, fuck you. That's my thing. God damn it."
Seriously,
Look,
like,
I just want to watch
Sis-
somebody
sis-
get railgunned, all right?
Right.
That's all. That's the only reason why I want to watch it, so that way I can crack
Oh,
pervy jokes
shit.
about people getting railed.
but anyways,
No, that's
yeah,
fair.
Shin Kamen Rider is gonna be your best bet. I just watched the movie yesterday and it's fucking amazing. If you like, I don't know, Guyver, you're gonna like that. But
Fair.
mutants gore tragedy, like it's not fucking, oh, I'm gonna be a silly superhero man from the 70s. No, it's like proper serious shit, not edgelord material, but still pretty tragic. But yeah, and yeah, that's about it. Well,
All right,
bye.
man. Well, it was fun hanging out for a little bit with you, especially on stream, man.
Yeah,
All right.
well, I'm not apologizing for the Bahamut. Fuck you, Nick. Bye.
All right. Well, that's the last time he's ever on the show. You forgot one thing, bitch. I have power.
Oh, fuck. All right.
This guy.
Well, speaking of power, I went ahead and I had two people ask at the same time. So right here should be RPG 64 DS inside of our communities, both ours and Bill's. And this fool posts quite often in Bill's. So what's up, homie?
Epic
Hi, man.
fucking name.
Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yep.
gotcha.
Okay, just had some computer shows recently. Want to make sure. Anyway,
It's all good.
you guys talking about Final Fantasy X, as I used to call it as a kid, because that was the
Yes.
first game I got.
That's kind of how a lot of people talked
Yeah.
about it.
But you see, that's exactly what I mean. That's probably what he thought it was. Just like
Yeah,
Well,
because I
maybe
didn't know
you
Roman
PlayStation
numerals, and
kids.
that was I didn't know about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's not just that, but if you think back, remember for a long time I grew up playing Final Fantasy, so I knew Roman numerals. So when Mega Man X came out, I was wondering what happened to the other fucking games.
Yep.
And then it went Mega Man X2, and I was like, did I fucking miss 11? And what is this, X20? Like, I don't understand what's even fucking happening anymore.
No, it's the same universe. It's just instead of Mega Man, you play as an all-girl cast.
It took until the second game for me to really realize it was X, not 10. Like,
Yep. Well, I mean, they even call him X in the game, so.
yeah, but they do, but like, I remember that I didn't make that correlation at all when I was a kid. I remember just
What?
playing it and being like, 10, what the fuck?
Because we was dumb kids.
Well, also, it's because, like, if you remember right when we were playing back then, and this is roughly the same area, like, we went from Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 7.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Which was not true, but we didn't know it wasn't true.
Nope. American 2 was 4 and American 3 was 6.
Yeah.
And we went,
Yep.
and then they came out with the PlayStation versions. We're like, what?
I even remember going to Real Thing Cinema and whatnot and asking, hey, you guys got Final Fantasy 4? Because I haven't played Final Fantasy 4. Like, 7 is cool, and I've beat it, and it was fantastic, but I can't find 4. And they were like, I have no idea. That's nowhere in our registry. It doesn't seem to be at any of our other locations.
We
Are
don't
you
know
sure
what the
that's a
fuck you're
game?
talking about.
Yeah, they'd be like, are you
Right.
sure that's a game? And I'm like, it has to be, because there's 7, and you guys
Well-
have 3.
That's not 100% true, Bill, because if you look at stuff like Leisure Suit Larry,
Okay.
Yeah.
they skipped a number by accident, but then
Yeah.
they made a joke about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Yep.
turned that into a joke, but that's what I
Wait,
mean. Like,
I think it goes Leisure Suit Larry 1, 2, 3, and then 5, and then
yeah.
they referenced 4 because they already made all the promotional shit for it, and they already had everything ready, and they're like, oh, well, Leisure Suit Larry 4 was the case of the lost floppies,
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean,
or
we
something like that.
we reference things by the experiences we've had,
Actually,
and that have taught us to experience things in a certain way. So I mean, like the fact that he used to call it X, I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I was playing it
yeah,
like when I was
floppies.
5 or 6 years old. And the funny thing is, I had a PlayStation 2, replaced it with a Wii, then now I have PS2 again, but I have Final Fantasy X on the Switch. I'm not sure if that was just because I was bad at video games or was impatient at reading. I played Final Fantasy X multiple times, from the beginning, all the way to when you get to Wakka's Village, and the only reason I could not continue is because I didn't know I had to take a freaking nap.
Oh, yeah, that happens in games.
Okay, so what we refer to this, because we used to do a show called Legacy of Gaming. That is
Yep.
Yeah, I
called,
watched it.
that is called Bad Conveyance, and it's gotten a lot better
Yep.
in video games now, where they've gotten to the point where they're like, we're just gonna fucking put a red dot on the map. This is what you gotta go to, and we'll even put a fucking symbol above a guy's head or some shit like that. They go out of their way now to make sure that you know how to play and how to move on from that point or whatever. Or like in like today, if you're playing, and this gets so fucking irritating, I can't stand it. But I understand why they're doing it, because I grew up in an age of terrible conveyance, okay? You
Yep.
didn't know how to play the fucking game. Dragon Quest, you're looking around for half your life because you don't realize that they put there's one item in a swamp where the only way to get it is to go square to square and just keep pushing the A button until maybe you find it. They don't tell you how to fucking do that. You just got to get lucky or read that somebody else did that shit. And
to make it worse, not only do you have to walk through the swamp, but the swamp is killing you the whole
it
fucking
fucking
time.
hurts you. So
Yeah.
the shit like that, is bad conveyance, and I know why they do it, but it makes me crazy. Play Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight, and purposely, when he comes to a part where you're supposed to do a thing, just start walking around randomly. And he'll just keep going, I should really check so-and-so. I should really check so-and-so. I think I should check
I know
so-and-so.
of a few games like that, I just can't remember them off the top of my head. I think LA Noire might be one of them.
Yeah,
But that's a bit more linear, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that game is definitely linear.
Because you'll be walking
trying to
around
think of
trying
one-
to like look at trophies or something like that, or try to get some of the scans on Arkham Asylum, and he's like, I should follow Gordon's smoke trail. And I'm like, yeah, I know all about that. I'm going to go over here and get this trophy. Should probably pick back up on Gordon's smoke trail. I know about his fucking smoke trail. Shut the fuck up.
That's just go into the menu and just voice off.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kevin Conroy has a great voice.
He
I
does.
know.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to miss
It's
that.
kind of like
Yeah.
Larry. You don't turn Larry off, man. Larry,
You're
you
not wrong.
never turn Larry off. I used to go into the options and turn Larry off, though, just because when you do it, he goes, ouch! and then if you turn him back on, he goes, whoa!
Anyway, I feel like a game like Xenoblade Chronicles, that's one of my favorite games. That has a pretty good conveyance when you like haven't played the game in like a while, especially the definitive edition that came out.
You know what? I gotta agree. There are certain games that they're like, hey, just to remind you what the fuck you were doing. That kind of stuff is nice. I remember the first time I played Final Fantasy 12. I ran around for almost 40 straight hours killing wolves to open up the license board.
I see.
And then I stopped playing for like 3 weeks. I came back. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to be
remember
doing?
the earliest game that like a game did that. Like the earliest I know that I've played was like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, where like after like you reboot, like reload to save or whatever, it says, oh, the last thing you did, you were here, you fought this guy, and you're exiting Pokemon
Yeah,
Center.
they added a flashback system. I know what he's talking about. Yeah, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, every time you turn the game on, it shows like a flashback of the things that you've accomplished.
Yeah,
so
the last
you know
4 or
where you
5
are.
things.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And games need good conveyance, because damn it, if I haven't played some old fucking games, and I'm prone to go back to play old games, not because I'm fucking old. I guess you could say whatever you want, to be fair. But
You're fucking old.
I like to go back and check out some games, and sometimes I like to go back and play games that I have played that I haven't played in years to really see if they hold up or if they're worth a shit. I do that a lot with older games.
I actually was playing the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Pixel Remaster. I have all 6. It's just I'm in the middle of 3 and just stopped.
Yes.
Dude, I love.
busy.
I think part 1, and I'm telling you, personally, I even
I
do
know
videos
2 was-
on my own channel. I think that the Pixel Remasters are the best versions of those games we have ever got. I think
It's
they're-
Agreed.
I think they're balanced better than any of the other versions. I think their graphics are just what they're supposed to be, because they're touched up enough, but they're still very much the original indication. They're what they were meant to be. They're pixel remasters. And they go as far as they remove all extra content that other games had added that kind of get in the way and add too much to old games that were never meant to have those run times, or never meant to have that. The old games were meant to run to an ending and be done. And then we got into this habit where we were like, what if Final Fantasy 1 had like 15 fucking final end dungeons? There were like 4, but you get the idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was actually 8. No. Because you had to go through one dungeon, get to the end. There were 4 lights. You had to, and there was like 4 of those dungeons. So there's like fucking 4 dungeons per one dungeon. It's ridiculous. It's too damn much.
It was 4 dungeons that at the very end had 4 separate paths, and after getting to the end of each path, you had to fight a boss, and upon killing the boss, you got like extra bonus ridiculous fucking items,
I think we
which
just got
to
a
be
sub.
fair didn't really mean shit.
I felt like
memory
if they did
serves.
that, like at the end for like the final dungeon, where they go through like a short mini dungeon before, like 4 different pillars, like the Elite Four, like in Pokemon Black and White, where you can choose whichever order you want to fight them. Where like, oh, you want to fight the Fire Fiend again? Go through this like 2-floor mini dungeon. Fire Fiend's at the end before you end up fighting Chaos.
So I'm noticing you're bringing this up a couple times. So I'm going to ask you a question. That's right. That's where
Bring
we
it.
do that. You seem to be really focused on Pokemon. Is that fair? Do you like it a lot?
I'm pretty into Pokemon. I don't do competitive, because that's a bit too complicated for me. Like the most I'll do is like EV or EV training for something like
then
that.
I'm gonna give you some hard choices here. First off, hard
Okay.
fucking choices.
Christ.
First off, best game in the series.
That's a tough one because my nostalgic one is Hoenn Emerald.
Okay.
But I would say Black 2 and White 2. While White 2 was my first game, I do like, and I Emerald is one that I really go back to because I feel like Gen 3 was, even though it was before the physical special split, it was just, they had, like, everything was right, especially with the re-release with Emerald, which is kind of like, I want them to, like, do, like, the third version because, like, a bit of extra story, like, with the two teams thing, I get to go after Aqua and Magma.
Right. No, I agree. I actually liked that quite a bit. The fact that they actually did that.
And also in White 2, when I played it first, I did not know about the physical special split, and that was when I was a wee lad, and I was like, oh, Embor, all fire moves, Blast Burn, Fire Pledge, Flamethrower, Heat Crash, that will work.
Okay.
You know what? You say to pick one of the games, Bill.
Yeah.
And that actually hurts me as a person who's been around since the beginning.
But I'll also say my favorite...
But I'll tell you, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, in my mind, X and Y.
Okay.
For the main series.
Okay. I mean,
So-
I would appreciate X and Y for what it is. It has like a lot of downfalls. Like for example, at least at the 8th dungeon, after you defeat Lysander, I believe that's his name, and he brings out a Mega Pokemon. Why doesn't the 8th gym or the Elite Four have Mega Pokemon?
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
But,
there's a lot
like-
of things
like
they
my
could
big
have done,
thing
but I
is-
appreciate as like the revamp
added
into the new 3DS age, I guess.
Yep. It added neat little stuff. Because I'm pretty sure X and Y is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a 3DS. Okay, so
It's 3DS.
X and because that one was. As much as I fucking make jokes about it, and I'm honestly serious about it, I do not like the French. But that's only because the only actual French people I have met have been douchebags to me.
Okay. I guess.
That, I'm Italian, so my heritage kind of took over their heritage countless times, but we're not going to go into that. Yes, X and Y is more based around like a France setting. I got over that pretty quick because the starters were very unique.
My favorite was
Fennekin. Back in the beginning,
Fennekin.
That's the one that I chose. But each one was set up like, I'm a big D&D fan.
Same.
I fucking love D&D. So when they actually kind of were like, oh yeah, this is this, and this, I was like, oh my god, it's an adorable fucking fox. Hell yeah. I'm gonna pick that bitch.
Oh, yeah,
and I
did you know
fucking
that-
grew it up,
that-
and it became fucking Firefox Mage, and I was like,
Fire Psychic,
all right, that's
yeah.
dope.
Did you know that actually that evolution actually has 10 base stats more than the water and grass starter?
Fire's better. See? That's just the way it goes.
Only in
Like,
that generation, as far as I'm aware of, at least.
I have done fire starters all the way through except for God, I gotta remember now.
I usually use
Black and
Stars as
Black and White was I think the only time I switched from a fire starter.
Oshawater Servine.
Oh wait, no.
Viper.
So fucking Scarlet and Violet, I went to a grass starter.
Yep, I went Meowscarada as well.
I got her, and then for Black and White, I had Oshawott. because I saw what they all turned into, and I was like, fat pig guy, whatever. And then I don't even remember what the grass dude is anymore.
Do we have one more person?
But
Yep, I got one more minimum.
Okay,
Samurai Walrus.
Let me finish this for a second. Let me ask. You got one choice here. You could pick one Pokemon as your starter. However, it cannot be a starter, and it has to be an easily accessible Pokemon that makes sense, that you could have obtained. If you were in that world and your mommy and daddy saved up the $200 to get you a ball, you got to go catch something. What do you start with?
Okay, I'm going to ask the dumb thing with this. Because of Let's Go Eevee, is that counting against, or is that like, nah, fuck that?
So you're basically asking
Eevee
is Eevee
a starter
included?
nowadays, and it was kind of a rare Pokemon even back in Red and Blue because there was only one of them, and it was you literally stole it from some guy's house because you're a little dick kid.
I think the only first time you could actually catch an Eevee that's like not like in post game or something
Let's
was
go.
White 2 in the sewer, in the sewer from the sewer areas. Anyway, the Pokemon I would choose, I'd say Absol.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your reason behind that?
Well, it's a pretty good single evolution Pokemon, and it's Dark is one of my favorite types. Fire, Dark, Fighting, Psychic, my favorites, and I just really liked its design and the lore behind it, where that it senses danger with its horn, but people think it's like the Grim Reaper or something like that. Like the Grim Reaper isn't always evil.
I was about to say, you picking that Pokemon kind of made me feel like if you did catch it, maybe you should catch it and then run. Because if it's there, normally that means that it's there because it senses something is wrong.
Not if I find it. He appears if there's danger. I appear to him, though.
Okay. I was going to say.
Well, I mean, him just being around, there is danger to him because he's about to have a ball whipped in his face.
He like runs up, throws the ball, catches it, and then runs. He's like, yeah, something's wrong here. I don't know what, but I'm going to get away from here before
I'm the Grim Reaper, but I still have things to do on Sunday. Like, yeah, just because I'm at the laundromat doesn't mean I'm going here to kill everyone. I need to make sure my cloaks are all good.
No, strangely enough, I have 3 things that I would travel with as a personal Pokemon. And
yeah,
they're all ground. Now that I just
You
realized
screwed
that.
me, so
Because I'm traveling with a Sandshrew, I'm traveling with a Cubone, or I'm traveling with oh damn it, I can't remember his first form all of a sudden. Excadrill.
I know. Excadrill. God damn it.
I know. I forgot his damn first form all of a sudden. But for some reason it would be one of those 3, because the other guys that I would take, they're either starters or they're considered rarities that I wouldn't be able to get my hands on. I can't take my Drillbur, thank you. I can't take my favorite one.
Oh, see, they beat me to it.
Because my favorite one I can't take because it's Cyndaquil. It starts as a starter. And I can't take my secondary choice because I would travel somewhere around the area with a Jolteon, or I would travel with a Pikachu because I love fucking Raichu and I don't give a shit that Pokemon Company wants to delete him from their canon. They do. They're going out of their way to fuck Raichu. I swear to God. They purposely give Pikachu items that will allow it to be stronger than Raichu.
Yeah.
They go out of their way to fuck Raichu.
Can I say 2 things real quick before I get off for the next person?
Yeah.
One, I want Pokemon to like make an official game that's like that follows the Pokemon Adventures manga, because that is one of the best mangas I've ever read.
No, it's solid. No, I agree. It's solid. I like the fact that it goes, each protagonist is technically a game. And instead of like Ash or whatever, you got that idea.
Yeah, because honestly, I never liked Ash because I read the manga. It was like red, blue, green. Like everyone, they're competent. Gold,
Yep.
not so much, but he's in there. But they're like, they would all beat Ash.
But that's exactly what's so cool about it, is that Red goes through his storyline, and then we pick up with Yellow, and Yellow's a littler person, and we start following that person, and Red still makes appearances.
Yeah, they're looking for him.
Yeah, I like how, but that's what I like, is that other characters will still make appearances after they've left the book. They're still characters. They're still there.
Yeah.
And
And also how like there were gym leaders that were part of Team Rocket, Koga, Lieutenant Surge, Sabrina.
Yeah. So I did like Adventures quite a bit. I remember I think I read all the way up to where the black and white books started coming into circulation for it, but I didn't get very far into them.
I've read Kanto, Johto, most of Hoenn, and most of Sinnoh.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, my favorite Pokemon spin-off game that I want them to make a sequel or another one like is Pokemon Conquest. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, we've played Pokemon Conquest.
Yep. Yeah, we played it for a long fucking time, too. We put a couple hours into that.
Yeah.
And we never finished it.
Yep, we never did finish it.
It's a great game. It's like, actually got me into Fire Emblem, actually.
Yep.
It's like Fire Emblem Light.
Yeah.
If you like fair. Fire Emblem, play the better version. It's called Shining Force. Don't let Shane tell you otherwise.
No, he's right though. If you have $2 for Steam or whatever, play Shining Force. Shining Force 1 and 2, those games are fantastic, and they pretty much built that genre. I realized that Fire Emblem was before them, but
they're $1 each.
If you play Shining Force, you'll see what I'm talking about. Shining Force 1 and 2 pretty much built that genre. They took what was working from Nintendo's Fire Emblem and expanded it exponentially.
Okay, quick question, and then I'll hop off for the next guy regarding Shining Force. How much of Shining Force is like Fire Emblem? Like, I will say the first Fire Emblem game I did play was Three Houses, and I am playing the one that's on the Game Boy Switch subscription thing.
The Game Boy Advance.
Very big difference. A jump from that one to Three Houses, and so I was wondering how far back did it go?
Shining Force. If a character dies in battle, you go to the priest and you say, "Dude, bring dude back," and he goes, "Booga booga, fucking not dead," and you go, "Sweet."
Booja magic. Booja magic.
I'm telling you.
And
No, you did it wrong. The priest goes, "Oh, that guy's dead. Huh. Well, he's level 12. So for $100 per level, I'll bring him back."
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad.
I think it's $10 a level.
It's $10 a level.
Or yeah. Well, either way. For some gold, I'll bring him back. You go.
It's a donation to the church.
All right.
No, I'm telling you, play that game. Play those two games, and because you're in the Discord, if you have literally any questions,
Bill and me can help you.
Yeah, I've been kind of avoiding Discord, not like because I hate you. I just trying to get like a bit of a detox, and I'm very introverted, so.
No, I completely understand.
No, that's fair.
Well, anyway, thanks guys. I guess I'll come up for my mouse pad isn't working. Give me a sec. I have to use touchscreen. Bye.
That's fair.
Slap it like a redheaded stepchild. It's all right.
Yeah,
I am the redheaded stepchild.
And see, there you go. You know how to slap it.
See ya. Bye.
Yep.
Later.
So, before we drag the next person in, Bill, you fucked me on this one.
Awesome.
But I have a way around it.
Okay.
You said we can't pick a starter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I too have, I think, 3 choices because my Eevee's gone. You're a dick.
Yep. Hey, mine is too.
I know.
Yeah.
Your fucking Jolteon's gone.
Yep.
Like, see, I would have taken an actual Eevee though, because I mean, Eevee and me kind of get along real well. We're both adaptable.
Right.
Do different zones count? Like like Galera or whatever the fuck the newest one is. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Like those specific forms, or like the Alolan form or blah form of said Poke guy. Or do I have to go with basic bitch Kanto?
Well, I think
Palladian.
even still, they're technically starters, and the reason you could tell is because
No, not that. I mean, like an Alolan Meowth.
Oh no, that would be fine because it would still, if you lived there, that would just be a basic thing in your area.
Okay, cool.
But you wouldn't be able to get around that with something like, oh well, I'll take the Cyndaquil from a different zone, because even in the different zones, it's been proven to us that
Cyndaquil from fucking Arceus. Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
But that's what I'm getting at. You could tell that those are still starters.
No, the reason why I wanted to ask is one of my choices, probably the first choice I would have to go to, would be I think it's the Alolan Vulpix.
Okay. No, Vulpix is possible. Yeah, because it's
and the Alolan form is not fire; it's ice.
Right. Yes, it is.
And when it evolves into Ninetales, it looks cooler. Honestly,
it does. It looks so good. I used to call it because I used to call my my Ninetales, my normal one, I used to call it Ferabute.
Yeah, I don't remember what I called my icy one that I got. I would do that. I would probably take a Char Cadet, because that little dude was awesome. And then I would go find him his fucking golden armor so he could become Mega Guy, which made me so happy when I did that in the game. And then that fucking white and blue squirrel knockoff of Pikachu. I can never remember its name. It's like Pachinko or something like that. Pachano.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
That one.
What they need to do with Pokemon, if they really want to make Pokemon a thing, the next thing they need to do is they need to create a start campaign. Very much
Pachirisu. Thank you, RPG.
Yep, very much like you would get from other video games nowadays. There needs to be a start campaign. You pick one of 3 or 4 storylines, okay? And this would change, like, the age and the thing, like the size of your character or whatnot. Maybe you're a bigger kid. You want to be a bigger kid? Well, there's a storyline where maybe you grew up a certain way. You're a bigger kid, right? You get to be one of the fatter characters or something like that. There's nothing wrong with it. No, but yeah, because you can see that body type exists in the game, but you never get to be it. You know what I'm talking about? And there's like older characters in the game, but you never get to be them. And I think it would be interesting if instead of giving you a starter, you got a choice of one of the main Pokemon that's in the region. So if you pick like storyline 5, it has like 20 guys that can start the game with. 20 possible starters that your guy has. Why you don't get a Pokemon, like I would be interested to see that you don't get one, you have one. Because we've seen time and time again that these kids, they grow up in houses like one kid had a Munchlax just in the house, or they've had Meowths and things. They already have Pokemon in their home. They didn't really need to go get one. They've already grown up with one. And it would be interesting to see the stories finally take a different curve instead of the exact same formula where today you wake up and today you're 10 and today you go get a fucking Pokemon because fucking reasons. And like it's getting old at this point.
Oh man, it looks like we have our next fan in here. I want everyone to welcome Proto Guy.
Oh my
Yeah.
He probably just woke up, to be fair, because he's fucking third shift. Like I said, he usually sleeps till around 6 or 7, so I actually didn't expect him to be in the episode. I actually figured that he was sleeping and probably didn't even know we were doing this.
Well, to be fair, I just sent the link to the next guy who's going to be coming in, but the only downfall is it looks like he keeps popping in and out.
Well, we'll know
so, yep. Exactly, but yes. if he does pop in, next up is going to be Oreo Dude, which there we go.
Oh shit!
Yes, I am here.
Oh,
hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
All right. Hey, I just Oh, this is new.
Yep. Welcome to the show,
Welcome
buddy.
to the show.
Where up is down, down is up, and everything is Tuesday.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
Tuesday.
God.
Okay, so since I'm here, I guess I've been thinking my question, and I've been wondering about this since the show's inception. I guess. Not really. That's a lie.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Why have you guys done a D&D session or a D&D show?
Okay.
You know what's sad about that is I've even brought that up myself because like we already are having difficulties trying to get together to play D&D since I live so far away from everybody else. I'm like, fuck it, we could just like get together on Discord, do the episode, and kind of go from there. But
Except one of
There's
the players
Roll20.
is Bill's daughter.
yeah,
There's Roll20 to use for this
Okay.
D&D online.
So here's
Yep.
the thing. Originally, the campaign that we're running right now, we were debating whether or not to run this to jump in like what you're talking about and to do that. And the reason is because for a long time, I've liked storytelling and whatnot and creating situations, and I'm very much Conan the Barbarian, Robert E. Howard inspired. I like more brutal worlds where you screw up. I created my own world that we use called Maiden, where there's certain things that work and don't work, and it's all suffering from something that happened called the Undead Revolution, and that's caused a lot of strife, and there's a lot of kingdoms that are currently popping up, and that's causing problems with basically an unsung empire, and there's a lot of things that are happening in the background. So one of the things that stopped us was that our group had this problem for the longest time. We loved D&D, but every time we would get on D&D, instead of teaching people how to play, it was like we were playing for them. And what I mean is like, okay, so oftentimes it'd be like, okay, so I need to do this attack or whatever. How do I do it? And then somebody would just tell you, do this, do this, do this. And so you weren't learning how to actually play. So I devised a campaign recently and said, this time we're going to guarantee that people learn how to play so that they don't have to look at the rule books, so they don't have to go crazy about everything. And we went all the way back to basic. One book, Player's Handbook. And I restricted everything else. You're going to be these classes. This is stuff you can look up. It's simple shit. You can learn it as you go. And once we've run a campaign for about 10 levels or so, and we've done a full story, everybody will know how to fucking play well. They won't need a bunch of coaching and like decision making and things like that. They'll be a little more comfortable. And then maybe we could do that. Because as it stands right now,
the only real players we have is me, Bill, and Seth, and kind of Shane.
But Shane is very much, he's learning. And when something comes up that somebody doesn't understand something or anything. But I will say this, like, oh man, the last battle that we had in the campaign was fantastic.
Especially because Shane went and fucking sat under a tree.
Yes, because Shane decided he wasn't fighting those guys because he knew instantly when they ran up on us, he was like, these guys cannot fucking kill us. There's no way.
The turtle, on the other hand.
The turtle could kill you.
Yeah, the turtle could have killed the fuck out of us. I am so fucking glad I'm a ranger and was smart enough to communicate with animals or speak with animals, because I was like, you follow us, we give you food. Oh, you give food? We give food. Oh, I'll follow you. Oh, good, we have a fire turtle as a companion.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Actually, the really funny thing is, my girlfriend does not really like tabletop stuff, but seeing us play, watching us play and stuff, it's actually gotten her interested enough. She's like, I really want to try that.
I have a couple things that I enjoy a lot about our current run campaign, and it's really made me think about whether or not we'd ever go fully public with it. But like, I have a character that's been traveling with the group since the very beginning. His name is Twain, and it seems
that dude is amazing.
It seems like everybody seems to like that guy right now. And he's a wizard.
He's a crazy wizard guy.
Is he gonna turn out to be the main villain or something?
Nope. He's a wizard, and he's There's something wrong with his damn
He's crazy.
brain.
He's an idiot.
He seems to know everything, but at the same time,
Knows
none of what he
nothing.
knows makes any sense. And anytime he tries to explain something to you, it almost doesn't work. Like, the whole reason he even became friends with the group is because they had shared a smoke. And that's
No, it's because of me.
It was that deep. It was no deeper than that. Is that he
was smoking straight magic, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm a warlock.
Yeah.
Let's get some smoke on, buddy."
Yeah, he literally
he's
smokes.
he's literally a wizard who walks around with a magical hookah that has the ability to pull mana out of the air and condense inside of the hookah. So he literally like blows magic smoke like he's the fucking the caterpillar from fucking Alice in Wonderland. And if you end up taking a hit of the hookah, it basically restores your mana, which is fucking fantastic for me as a goddamn ranger with like 2 fucking spells. What can you do?
I'm a warlock. If I try to use anything except for Eldritch Blast.
But he almost killed the team in their first outing. He almost killed them. It was very close.
Fuck, in session 0, you fucking threw a bugbear at us with no equipment, and like a smartass, I said, I'm gonna throw a rock. I'll divert him. And I threw the rock, and he fucking saw me throw the rock. It's like, fuck. And I got wrecked by a fucking bugbear at level 1.
Yeah, the entire campaign starts at a bar called The Rut. And while they were there, everybody was partying when basically the door kicked in. And these raiders, basically, because they're in like an outskirts type of village, the Rut. And when they go in there, these guys are gathering people, and they sell them as cattle to a goblin encampment that eats people. And that's how they all became a team, as they woke up in this place. And it was either get out or become food.
Hey, let us not forget the fact that I outplayed the bard.
True.
As a
okay. I legit wish you guys do a D&D session. That sounds badass.
Well, we were actually thinking about a fun idea where we would take like polls from the community and kind of figure out what classes each of us would be, and then force us to play a campaign as those classes. To see if we could live.
Hey, I have a suggestion for Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, if you do that, I want Bill to be the bard.
No, Bill would... I mean...
Surprisingly, it would work, because Bill was in like 2 or 3 different bands in high school.
That's partially true, but Bill would be more of a monk.
Yeah.
At least in my mindset, because Bill has martial arts training. And he's the only one that still boxes.
Yeah, I am, easily.
I guess I can add another topic if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. Go for it.
I'm gonna say 3 favorite tropes in writing and least favorite tropes in writing, because you guys like to critique stuff in writing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
so I want to hear your
100% without a doubt. My least favorite trope. It makes me fucking livid. I cannot stand it. Stop killing your fucking characters and bringing them back. Stop.
Yep.
I'm fucking done with that.
I hate that.
I can't fucking stand it. Because, look, here's the truth of drama. All drama is consequence. And the consequence creates the conflict, and the conflict is what you have to overcome. Now, here's the thing with drama. The end-all, be-all fucking consequence is death. The character is fucking dead.
Don't worry. But Bill, don't worry. This character's not. They didn't resurrect the character. They got this character from Universe 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, when they kill a character and then bring it back, you have automatically lessened the impact of the most dramatic thing you have. Case in point, any superhero that dies tomorrow, I don't give a shit. I don't.
Bill.
It doesn't matter. Anybody, and no, Gwen Stacy or Norman Osborn, they come back as clones or they come back as their actual characters because of time displacement or what the fuck ever. Once you kill a character and bring it back to life, you're done.
I just want to say, man, I think you would hate this book. It's called the Bible.
Well, I'm not going to discuss that, but regardless, really, look.
When you kill off a character, depending on that character, superheroes, that's bullshit because they always bring them back.
Yeah, so
you don't keep they don't. But when you talk about an actual character death, one that stays permanent, I'm going to use Aerith as an example. That meant something. Her death
she
motivated the group.
Dead.
Her death is inevitable. Her death is supposed to happen, and with that death, motivates the team to continue on. And really solidify the team as a team. They came together for the first time as a real team when she died.
And why do you feel Aerith's death? In all these different video games and all these different things that people go, oh man, so-and-so died. 80% of the time it's not memorable. It's just a character died.
Like,
but the reason you give a shit is because when these characters die and they have an actual impact, it's because they're not coming back.
Yes.
Like, anime is one of those things right now where I've reached a point where I just find myself not giving a shit. Because most anime is run on shonen shit. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but I refer to it as potato chip anime. You eat one, you eat one, you eat one, you eat one, you eat one. It's all the same. Just eat a chip and then eat another chip and then eat another chip.
It's like Dragon Ball Z. Death has no consequences.
What the fuck is the point? Like, what are you gonna sell me on at this point? They're like, Goku could die. I'm like, big fucking deal.
They even made fun of that in the abridged series when they were waiting to go back.
They don't have Dragon Balls. They brought him back. There was just a God man that was like, you can have my life. I ain't doing shit with it.
Oh, let's stop.
To get sidetracked with the 3 favorite / least favorite tropes, I'm interested how you guys are gonna feel if the Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna diverge away from Eric's deaths.
I'm actually wondering about that, and if they do it, they will completely destroy what has made Final Fantasy VII an absolute stay of the series. In fact,
Eric's death has to happen. It's actually a pivotal point. It's a focal point.
And it's not just that. Look at Final Fantasy X. When we played Final Fantasy X, what was the thing that caught your attention? At the end of the game.
Oh, what caught my attention?
What really catches your attention? What sat with you at the end of Final Fantasy X, the original game?
The fact that Ornn was already dead, or the fact that Tidus wasn't even a real person.
And at the end of the game, he just goes away. He's not coming back. He's dead. Only for them to basically retcon and give themselves an out with Final Fantasy X-2, where he comes back to life. That destroys anything that you accomplished in Final Fantasy X because the sacrifice isn't real.
No, it sucks because it's bringing him back didn't make any sense to me. That's why I didn't really care for 10-2.
No, I can't stand that. Characters need to be, if they die, they're dead. And if they're not going to stay dead, you better have a hell of a
good reason. Good reason to bring him back.
Okay. All right. So, sorry. I want to ask, what is your favorite trope when it comes to writing?
This is one you're not going to see very often. Okay, you're not going to see it very often, but I'm telling you, it's ridiculously fucking important. And this is important now. I'm dead serious, and I'm telling you, nobody even stops to think about this. Everybody here likes Dragon Ball Z. That's fair.
I like One Piece.
It's fucking fantastic. It was so good. Yada yada. But look here. Why is Dragon Ball Z receiving the flack that it receives today? There is a reason. Because power creep exists in any form of thing where the point of the story is to become stronger. Because at some point, You either have to become so fucking strong that there's absolutely nothing left to achieve, or there has to be randomly some reason for you to not be that strong, and the power creep becomes so extreme that you can no longer tell stories. So, my favorite writing trope is he's just a dude. And
oh my gosh, I love that trope.
And not Batman. He's just a dude. Case in point, one of the reasons I still to this day read Conan the Barbarian is because he's just a dude. A random guy with a spear could take him out. And they never play to the fact that that's not true. Conan, in his own comics and in his own books, has had his ass whooped multiple times. He's been stabbed, he's been knocked over, he's been at the mercy of another man, he's literally been tied up, captured, imprisoned, and it's always through other characters and situations and his own grit or his ability to move forward in all situations that keep him going and keep him living. And the thing that's interesting about that is that it means you could tell any story you ever wanted to tell with a Conan the Barbarian type character, because he will never be Batman. You will never go, how did you do that? Conan.
I'm Conan.
Yeah.
See, Conan can be taken out by an arrow from a distance in one book, and in the next book, he can have to fight a bear. And yeah, he'll kill that bear, but then, like I said, because he's a dude, every situation, no matter how small or big, is a big deal. Every single one. Every single one. He's just a dude is my favorite writing trope. No power creep is included when you set the standards of a man's power and say, this is what he can do, this is what he can't do, this is the reality, now I have to stick to it. I can only tell stories within this confine. I can't go any further. Why is Conan afraid of magic? Because it's fucking broken. That's why. He can't fight it.
I think my biggest irritation when it comes to that power creep stuff is when they don't explain it.
Yeah, when it's
For example,
off screen.
For example, let's use Dragon Ball Super as an example because it's the easiest one to use.
Yeah.
Well, Android 17 is one of my favorite characters.
Fucking
Why is he couldn't go up against first form Cell. Now how is he evenly matched with Super Saiyan Blue Goku?
Let me explain this for you. Park Ranger.
Being a park ranger must be fucking hardcore.
See, now that's actually kind of the reason why the book that I was writing years ago that I basically gave up on because it had been lost / eaten by my hard drives that have eaten themselves over the years. But I had it set up where like there was almost a power creep to it in terms of like the main character suddenly just overnight ended up getting powers and he just somehow was like a savant with it. And I was building it up to a point where like he just kept whooping ass and whooping ass and whooping ass and whooping ass and make it seem like it was going to turn into like a fucking, Shonen Jump popcorn type of fucking thing where nothing can fucking touch him. And I was literally just going to put a fucking brick wall in front of him where it's like this dude is going like 88 miles an hour. He's almost got it. He's about to hit the switch and nope, you hit the brick fucking wall, kid. Fucking you're done. Like there's no more power for you to tap into, period. Now you actually have to develop any type of skill with said power on top of being able to like not only have skill with that and martial prowess, but now you have to like develop a team of people who have skill and martial prowess to continue doing the shit that you're fucking doing, because you can't just fucking one man John Wick army your way through the fucking situation anymore. You're not fucking Saitama and fucking one punch everything. Now you're about to get your fucking dick stomped. Get ready for the real world.
Or they don't explain something very well. Or, for example, the reason why I believe that the last season and a half of Yu Yu Hakusho is trash is because of that shit where they made Yusuke a demon.
Yeah, there was no real explanation leading up to that. They didn't give
there was nothing. There was no
season
indication
1 or anything.
There was no indication that that dude was a demon, there was no indication of any of that shit. The only thing that we got was he's a spirit detective and he's pretty fucking good, and he gets stronger and he gets stronger. Then all of a sudden he's fighting a guy who he can't beat. No matter how much training he got from Genkai, this dude is just too fucking good. So what do? Oh, he's part demon. I'm like, no, he's not, because you never explained
the way they explain that is they say, remember back in season 1, his dad isn't around? No. Fuck that.
No.
That's bullshit.
So in Pokemon, my dad's not around. Does that mean that I'm something special too?
You're half Pokemon.
Yeah,
I must be half Pokemon.
Yep, Arceus came down and said, "Hey, sup, baby?"
First off,
Next thing you know, Mom was pregnant.
First off, spoilers. Secondly, I wasn't this written by Takashi, the guy who's like very anti-shonen guy in like when he's writing Hunter x Hunter, which feels weird because like I remember Yu Yu Hakusho was like quickly ended because of that. Was it because the Anadex crap in the anime? I have no idea.
So the other thing, that going back to power creep, I actually purposely found a way to stop power creep in the D&D campaign. In Maiden, magic works by opening junk doors. No, it's important because I know that magic gets to a point in games, especially D&D, where it destroys the campaign. It literally breaks the campaign. You can't challenge the characters anymore. No matter what you do, because it's like, dispel magic, and it's done. Like there went my shit. Like, and it's not just that, but there's other things too. But in Maiden, the way that magic works is it pulls from a secondary reality, which people refer to as a fade. And the problem is that every time you do that, no matter how small or great the magic is, it opens rifts inside of the fade and lets monsters into the world from that other world. So the more you use it and the more you rely on it and the more kingdoms use it to like hold up their power or whatever, the more they influx the world with monsters and demons alike, which cause the problems for the general world of Maiden. And that's the way that I solve a lot of those problems where they're like, well, we'll just go get this ridiculous, powerful artifact or a so-and-so, or I got this ridiculous, unbelievable, kill everything spell for no real reason. And I'm like, well, that's fine. But the more you use that shit, the more I'm going to punish you for doing it.
Just don't use magic.
No, it's not just always magic, but that's the way that it works. And the reason I did that is because I've played campaigns that get way out of hand, and the book that I'm writing actually takes place in Maiden as well. And part of the reason for one of the areas being screwed up is a war that took place that was won specifically by the use of magic, and now that area is a wasteland. It can't be used by either side.
Oh, no shit. Sorry.
In terms of other positive tropes.
Like your Lisa right now. Both around like the second one, I guess.
Well, okay. I need characters to talk like people, like real fucking people.
If it was real poison.
If real poison. Basically what I'm getting at is you've all seen those movies where, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it right goddamn now. Watch. Dialogue is incredibly important. Good dialogue is incredibly important. I'll prove it to you very easily. At the beginning of the new fucking Star Wars trilogy, okay? The new one that's out there right now, people fucking love it. They don't, but you get the idea. Now listen, I'm going to tell you why people are getting a problem with it, and they may not even be thinking about this, but this is part of it. Kylo Ren is scary.
Until he takes his helmet off.
No. Here's why. Here's why he's not scary. Here's the reason you're not afraid of him. Here's the reason he holds no impact. I want you to do something real quick. I want you to take the opening scenes of A New Hope,
Okay.
and I want you to take the opening scene of, what the fuck was that movie called?
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Okay.
Jinx.
In The Force Awakens, stormtroopers come in, they shoot everybody, it's fucking violent. It looked like like the drop ship was cool. It's really tense. There's a guy there that has information. Kylo comes out of the ship. He's dark. He's foreboding. He's surrounded by all this madness. He walks in. He kills that fucking old man. He's fucking scary. He stops a blaster bolt in
Which is awesome.
shoot. He just puts his hand out. It's all awesome, right? You think he's cool. Now I'm going to tell you exactly where they lost Kylo Ren. I'm dead fucking serious. They lost him this early, and they could not get him back because they fucked up the dialogue. He walks up to Poe, and he stares Poe in the face, right? And Poe stares back at him. Now, do you remember what happens there?
I haven't seen the movie.
In the course of all this shit that's going on, where we're setting the possibility of this being another terrible thing, a Darth Vader, a Palpatine, a scary thing. He looks Poe in the face, and Poe goes, What happens? Do I talk first? Do you talk first?
They always make jokes.
What do we do? Do we talk? We doing this? It's a joke.
They didn't do that shit.
Poe is not
Everything's
afraid.
a joke.
Poe is not afraid because everything's a joke, and the dialogue is purposely taking breaks in moments where it shouldn't take breaks to either break up a scene, deliver a poetry, or try to be funny. Such as when the girl runs into Finn when he's trying to kill himself. He's going to run into the laser and save everybody. She blows into him. There's still a battle taking place, and all of a sudden everything stops. So they can go over and they can talk calmly about the situation. Hey, why did you do that? Fool, I did that because I had to save you. Fucking love. Poetry moment. Does nobody realize what the fuck else is happening in the scene that we just completely abandoned, that now we don't give a shit about? Don't do that shit. Never do that shit. Case in point, also using Star Wars. When we do the exact same thing for Darth Vader, Darth Vader's entrance is that he walks in, everybody's fucking dead, and then he goes up to the guy that's alive, he grabs him by the neck, he picks him up, and he says, "Tell me shit." And the guy's like, "I don't fucking know shit." And he's like, "Then I don't fucking need you." Kills him, throws him against the wall, and immediately turns around to his subordinate and goes, "Tear this motherfucker apart, girder by girder, and bring me the shit that I want. Period." And he leaves.
He comes in looking foreboding, because remember when the New Hope started, all you saw were stormtroopers and the rebels.
Jokes happen before him because of R2 and C3, and they happen after him because of R2 and C3. When he's on screen, shit is real every time.
There's no joking. I mean, hell, there's no joking, especially if you watch the ending of Rogue One, which leads right into New Hope, where he's on that ship, and everybody's like looking in that dark hallway, and they're all pointing their blasters, and all of a sudden his lightsaber just ignites, and everybody's terrified because now we're in a fucking slasher movie, and
I mean, you're not wrong.
It just rips through. There's no joking.
Yeah.
These people are. You see the genuine terror in their face as this giant 7-foot tall, menacing man that wears a mask coming at me with a fucking red light sword.
Right. He is terrifying, and the dialogue always wraps around the character.
Do you want to know?
Do you want to know the idea? See, now, if that had happened, something dumb like that, you would never take him seriously the rest of the movie. They've ruined... You have to play dialogue to the scene and never compromise the scene for the dialogue. Ever.
What?
The dialogue has to match the scene. Case in point, I told you about where they stopped the scene so that they could have their little love moment, right?
Right.
I'm going to tell you a movie that's basically Star Wars that does the same scene, but it works. And I'm going to tell you why it works. Maverick. Why? Because Maverick, he purposely sacrifices himself to guarantee that Rooster will go home. And Rooster, without thinking, decides he will then try to go back to save Maverick, only to go down himself. When Maverick finds him, they don't stop the scene or break the tension so that these two guys can have their father-son moment, because that's what we're getting at now, is this basically, a father-son moment. He's become a father to this kid. This kid is looking up to him. He runs at him. He's pissed. He pushes him on the ground, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And how does Rooster react? Rooster doesn't go, I love you, man. He gets up, and now Rooster's mad, 'cause you would be. Dude, I just fucking saved your life. The point was I saved your life. You weren't supposed to throw yours away. Now they're both pissed, so they gotta take a moment. They stare at each other pretty mean for about 20 actual seconds while they let that moment sit with you. Then, after it's all passed, the two of them kind of stop for a second. They realize the predicament that they're currently in. They've moved from this current scene to this current scene, from this dilemma to this dilemma, and they both go, okay, what do we do now? That's fucking perfect. Unlike the ignorance that you see when she saves his life in the fucking Last Jedi, and they just stop the war so these two can have a fucking love story.
Which never went anywhere. So why the fuck did we interrupt the entire war to play that?
I honestly want to ask, now you mention it, why do people do, obviously, corporate, intervention, oh, we got to do a joke, so, why do writers do that and fall for that trap?
Well, I'm sure that a lot of writers now, especially, they're copying an idea, because ideas now, look, you have to make money. This sucks, but it's true. You want to see original writing? Read books. I mean, it's just the way...
That's what I'm doing.
It's the way that it is. Because if you're watching movies, they have to abide by a formula. And the formula has been proven to work. And part of that formula right now is that Marvel movies can't go 5 fucking minutes without giving levity to the scene. Everybody's a goddamn joker. Everybody. Name one fucking serious character. One serious character
Captain America
in Marvel movies right now.
Captain America told jokes too, because
he's jokes too.
Because even at in Endgame, he even looked at his own ass and said, "That is America's ass." That's, even though that's not much of a joke, it's still a joke.
No, he's joking. He's actually joking all the time if you go back and watch those movies.
Now, that's a hard one. If you're talking about a legit character that it's basically no nonsense.
He's not funny.
I'm trying to think right now. There's so many characters. They all have some. Okay, I know one character that they try to keep serious, but nobody gives a shit about that character. Is Captain Marvel. If you watch her first movie, she's very stoic throughout the entire fucking movie. Yeah, she has
some jokes.
There's a joke here and there, but for the most part, she's very stoic. But the fact that nobody really gives a shit about her character because nobody really likes Captain Marvel.
Well, but I'll say that part of the reason might be because of what you just said. Oh, and by the way, because they're trying to play her off as stoic, they have to add characters around her that do nothing but make jokes every 5 minutes, including the guy who you originally thought was a stoic, serious badass. Nick Fury does nothing but pop jokes for the entirety of her movie.
Nope. Even Nick Fury, who's supposed to be a serious character, is not immune to this criticism. If you're talking about Marvel characters, I honestly, especially MCU, I can't okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can name one character. If I had to name one character that doesn't really crack jokes and stuff, I would probably tell you Frank Castle.
That might be fair, but it's a series that avoids the writing cliches that have to take place for movies.
What about
Guardians? I was about to say, it's been a hot minute since I saw the Netflix series.
about Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Because, like, yeah, every character's a Joker, but, like, they're done well.
No, it's not that that can't work. It's not that that can't work. But what I'm saying is that if your dialogue is designed to be a comedy movie, that all works. But if you're gonna do some shit like tell serious stories, and Marvel has gotten to a point where it almost can't, because, like, one, even when the situation is incredibly serious, it's not. Look, the world,
It never is.
The world fucking ended, okay? It fucking ended. They lost. They are in the process of coming up with an idea that very well might either save them or fuck them, and we have to stop the movie to hand tiny tacos to Ant-Man. Is that funny?
I'll admit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off. I did. I'll agree. I laughed my ass off. But do you see where the problem comes in? That there's nothing serious in the movie. All of it is followed by moments of levity every 5 or 10 minutes. Every 5 or 10 minutes. Nothing is left to sit with you ever.
I'm gonna defend that scene because that's at least, like, a character that's trying to make do with the crappy situation. But everything else, I can see where you're coming from.
Well, like, I like that you know why the end game at the end of that movie, why it hit everybody so hard?
Because they played it straight.
Everybody's so used to Marvel making a quip every 5 minutes that when things finally got serious and they lost, they let these characters lose.
Yeah, they
And
did.
when they lost, they played out the entire thing without using a single comedy, quip, or levity scene in the entirety of People Are Turning to Dust. Nothing. But right before that, by the way, literally right before that, not but fucking 20 seconds before Snappy Fingers, there was a bunch of jokes and shit. Even while they were fighting the man that could end the universe, it wasn't serious. They were jumping and making funnies and fucking talking with each other, and nothing was serious about it. Like, you'd imagine characters in that kind of situation would have been, I don't know, serious, not like making jokes and shit. They're not.
Like when Thor shows up to the battlefield, fucking wreck shop, fucking Bruce is like, "Oh, you all are screwed now."
Yeah.
But not that part, but the part where after when Captain America and Thor are fighting and they stop for a moment, he's like, "I see you copied my beard."
You see,
and
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then, so it stuff like that. They're in the middle of a fight, and I get that, like, Captain America has got, like, superhuman senses because of what he is, and I get that Thor is a god, so he's not really worried about it.
All right, guys.
Stop being in the middle of a fight to have a joke like that.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I have to go, unfortunately, because I have to meet with my family.
No, I know.
That's awesome. Fair.
But if you guys want to, like, continue with the 3 tropes, or at least your favorite thing, or not, I don't mind. I have to get going. Thank you guys for letting me on this show.
Yeah, man. Later on.
Yeah, later.
No, absolutely. That's one of the biggest things for me is that writers need to, and it comes down to the way movies are done currently, but writers need to learn to let the moments play the way they're meant to play. And if ever dialogue sounds forced, don't write it. Like, oh my God. You've seen those movies where, like, the character will just give, like, a big fucking info dump about the situation that's taking place, and they don't talk like any normal person would ever talk. Now,
I like when movies make fun of that shit.
I was gonna say, Star Trek is real good about being able to do that for one reason. Star Trek will purposely put a character in there who actually talks like no fucking person would talk. Data, Spock. They can just walk up and lay out a whole fucking scenario for you, and you don't question it because you're like, yeah, these people talk like that.
I like the writing in Star Trek, especially that I have to give in to you and say that Strange New Worlds has some fantastic writing. I just got caught. I'm caught up again.
That's the best fucking hair in Starfleet.
Dude, Dude, they'd even mention that too,
Dude,
which is
yes, I do.
dude in the episode in the lower deck episode where they crossed over an animated show with the live action show, and those two guys went into the portal.
Yes.
Dude, that was my favorite episode so far.
His hair is fucking fabulous.
Dude, he has fabulous hair.
If anybody was ever gonna give me some fucking hair envy, it's Christopher Pike. Like, I swear, man.
Like Bill walks
Yeah,
by him.
well.
Bill walks by him and then looks at Michelle and he's like, "Man, I wish I had hair."
Fucking Captain Perfect hair.
Yeah,
So
well,
good.
speaking of perfect hair, we're
Oh,
joined
shit.
by our last guest of the night,
Holy
our
fuck.
producer.
Who?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, heard you were talking about Tokuger and just wanted to circle back to that.
No, let's do it. Okay.
Yes, boss. Whatever you say, boss. Give us more
No.
money, boss.
That sounds like a smart ass guy. Dude, Tokuger was the best Sentai I've ever. I look, but okay. I mean, I guess to be fair, I haven't watched like every single one, right,
That's-
of
yeah.
every series. But no, I thought it was pretty good. But I was saying in the chat earlier that the villain story arc was way better than the hero one because the heroes were all goofy and shit, but the villains were actually like there was like a love story. The villain was looking for like the perfect I don't know, powers. I mean, it was crazy. It was just a lot more involved. And then to see them get beat, you were kind of like, oh, well, that sucks. Like,
Yeah. Dude. So it's been a long time since you've been on anything. What do you
Right.
You got a topic or a question? What's going on with you, man?
no, just no, busy. Job hopped. So new job and everything, and then I've been playing. I don't know. I've been playing Diablo 4, but when I can, a couple hours a night, maybe if possible. But I don't know. Yeah, not doing a whole lot. Just living.
It took me what
Same.
2-3 minutes to realize that was Greg.
No
Yep.
shit. That's how long it's fucking been, right?
No, I'm literally. I thought this was another fucking fan. I'm thinking, man, that guy sounds a lot like Greg. So I'm
Yep,
looking
remember.
into the chat. I'm looking into the chat to see if Greg's in here, and I'm like, oh my god, it is Greg. Holy shit!
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have
it's
taken me that
The
long.
man who is in charge of our website, which hasn't been
Yeah.
updated fucking
That's actually that's
forever.
actually going down here soon. We've got to
It is, yeah,
download
yeah.
the entire audio database just so that we don't lose anything, just in case something happens. And anything that we don't have might be uploaded to YouTube for posterity. I don't know what you, but you get
Yeah.
Yeah, there's other options. Anyway, I think we're just I chose that site way back, but I mean even now today, like that Wix.com is what like everybody's using to build an easy website with. I mean, unless we want to hire somebody, but I think we just got to choose a different provider. But
right at this
but no, not
point.
to talk business. I'm really excited when I saw you guys wanted to do like a live call-in show. I thought, yeah, this is what we need to do, man. These guys, people want to interact. This is awesome. I saw a lot of people hopping in, and
Yeah, exactly.
you guys kept
Because
them
we were
entertained.
sitting complete behind the scenes for the fans here, and I know most of you don't give a shit. But normally, before we get like episodes going, like we'll sit down on Friday night before the episode and go, okay, what do we have? What do we need to get done? And we were sitting around like, well, fuck, Bill's got shit he's got to do tomorrow. I got that new job. I got work. Nick's on call. Fucking, it would be the
Fucking
Shane
on
show.
call.
So if it's going to be the Shane show, it's going to be a lot of, hey guys.
He would be by himself.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
much.
if it's
Just
Shane
Shane
by
running the
himself,
entire
there's no
show.
episode again. So we're sitting around like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And we're like, well, we could do an episode tonight. Okay, but what do we do? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to regret this the minute I fucking say it, but what if we do a fan night as like a fucking call-in show, like talk radio, just hang out, bullshit, and then invite fans on one at a time to like hang out and talk with us, maybe give us a topic, and then we just kick them the fuck out and be like, all right, thanks for the idea. And then we just talk for like 30, 40 minutes and then bring somebody else on if there's nobody who wants to be on and everybody's like, you know what? Fuck it, let's give it a shot. And I'm not going to lie, I regretting this because this has actually been a fucking great episode for us. I'm not going to lie.
Well, so here's the thing. and I know I've said this on a lot of episodes, but I don't know how much it ever really sinks in. This is what we did. The show started from this. We just hung out and talked fandom. We were literally a fandom show. Fandom Night used to start out with, "Welcome to Fandom Night, the show that gives you nothing but takes from you." And then we'd go on with the show.
Yep.
And we'd do whatever. Like, whatever the fuck came to mind. And usually it would start out by being like, "Hey, what's been up?" And then somebody will say, "I've been fucking playing this game," or whatever. And then wherever that takes us is wherever that takes us. And we would just run.
Yeah, usually after a 30-hour fucking discussion of me describing how often I pooped each week.
A lot of the show started running in ways where, like, we'd come in and we'd say, "Oh, well, shit, let's talk all about Bruce Lee," okay? And then we'd come in and we'd say, "Hey, did you see that, anybody actually see that Ghost Rider movie?" And then from there, we'd talk about Ghost Rider, and then that would lead to whatever part of the conversation it created, and then we'd go on and on and on. Or we had like this list. I used to have a book that had like hundreds of topics. So if we ever came across something where we were stuck, I just open the book, flip to a page, put my finger down, and be like, "Okay, so tonight," and then I give everybody the rules of the conversation, and we just run with it. And it wasn't until a literal accident that got us talking about, like, the
Power Rangers.
Juranger. We started talking about that one night. That was it. And it was just because, honestly, we ended up on the conversation because we were talking about AVGN. We went to see the movie, and we didn't get to see the movie. And because we didn't see the movie, we came home and we watched that instead. And then we were like, so let's talk about stuff that was different, and yada yada. And then before we knew it, man, that was it.
Sentai Review.
Yeah, all of a sudden we were the Sentai Review. And then we had to, like, pivot the show off to keep talking about the other shit that we were talking about. And we were like at 9 shows. And I think that one of the things that the reason this worked the way it did is because we came in with no topic, which we're actually pretty good at. And as long as we can just find reasons to talk, we're into a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And everybody has their own shit. So depending on where we go, depends on where people can go with the conversation. And there's really very little dead space that we create as long as we're allowed to just go wherever we want to go. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do fandom, like in Sentai reviews and whatnot. Yeah. But, like, one of the things we've been trying to do is kind of get back into this mindset. It's the reason we're doing the folders at random now. And whatever picture takes us into whatever conversation we can have, that's what we've been allowing ourselves to do, so we can kind of get back to basics and enjoy the show. Keep it going.
Yep.
Because we don't want it to die on us. I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I've contemplated lighting the motherfucker on fire.
It's
we
been
all
close to
have at
going
one
down
point.
a couple of times because it's gotten rough here and there when we only talk about one thing. And yes, we did stop a Kamen Rider review specifically to talk about Bruce Lee versus Burt Ward. And so people notice it because we're doing the Sentai review, and sometimes we're like, all right, we're going to go over here for like 20 minutes and talk about bullshit. Then we come back and we're like, did we even rate this guy?
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody in the chat's like, fucking get on with this episode.
Yeah, they're like,
well,
next.
This is part of this episode.
Well, speaking of which, I did actually have a topic I wanted to throw out because Bill and Nick just got done playing Resident Evil 5, right? Did you? So
we did.
Did you guys see that? Yeah, did you see that Capcom teased on all the platforms and Twitter is where I saw it, but they said, hey, we're gonna have a game announcement soon. That's gonna, it's basically they're planning to sell millions and millions of copies. They're basically say that it's gonna sell out. And I was thinking, the two things that I can think of is another
if it's
Marvel
not
vs. Capcom
Outbreak, I don't give a fuck.
or Resident Evil, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Resident Evil 5
No.
remake, which I will go crazy.
So
with.
Resident Evil. If it's not Resident Evil Outbreak, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's you.
Yeah.
Right now they're only redoing the numbers. That seems to be their agenda, is to remake their entire original catalog. And they,
which to be fair is bogus because fucking Code Veronica was like on 2 fucking things and that was it.
I'm not saying it's wrong. But
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but yeah, like because like yes, they should do Code Veronica and things of that nature because some of the side games really need the help. But
right?
But it's just kind of like Pokemon. You don't expect them to do all of their side games. You expect them to do their main games and remake and come back out and so like if Resident Evil is, if that's what it is, if it's a Resident Evil, it's gonna be a remake of 5. And here's the thing,
Epic,
5, I like 5, but I know a lot of people don't. But
look, I hated 5, and then me and Bill sat down and played 5, and I actually had a good time with it.
Yeah, especially when we died to that one guy, and you were like, okay.
that was the best part. So, Greg, you remember that stupid fucking eel man that you're supposed to grab the flamethrower and run around in the fucking circle and keep putting the flamethrower back up to fucking recharge it, pull it back, and barbecue the motherfucker? Me and Bill sat there for 20 minutes fighting that guy to the point of where one of us would grab the flamethrower, the other one would run up with knife.
Yeah, we were down to no bullets. We were trying to knife that stupid eel guy to death.
And then we finally died. And I said, fuck this guy. Reload this bitch, Bill. And he's like, why? He's like, don't fucking worry about it. And he just hears ka-chink. And he looks over at my inventory and he went, oh. And I was like, fuck this guy. We loaded in. I immediately equipped rocket launcher and went, funk there, moving on.
We did go right down. Fuck him. Yeah, it was fantastic. We tried
that with $10,000 I've ever spent in a video game.
We tried that with Wesker. Doesn't work.
It failed miserably.
Yep.
Do you guys think it might be like a Mega Man or something like that too? Because
I don't see him redoing Mega Man. I mean, it would be cool to see like a full-blown remake of like, I don't know, Mega Man Legends, since we're never getting 3.
I tell you what would be absolutely sick with Mega Man. If they went and they don't really have to do too much. Redraw the sprites for like HD and just give us Mega Man Remaster Collection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And
the Nintendo
X
games.
1, 2, and 3.
Well, I'm just talking right now just the Nintendo games. So they take the original NES graphics, scale them, draw over them, and basically it plays the exact same way. Nothing's different. Don't change the game. But if you wanted, maybe even add slight little voice acting things. Nothing big, but like when you first come up to Fireman, he might say something really quick while that bar's going. When it's powering up, he might be like, let's burn it or whatever. Like just quick little dumb things. Kind of like, remember Mega Man Powered Up? I want an entire series with that kind of attitude. Just a redone HD fucking that. I'd love that. I would absolutely love that.
I'd play the shit out of it.
Or Maverick Hunter X. Like, I still can't believe that's never been ported in any way. It's still a PSP game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Monster Hunter. I'm kind of tired of those coming out, but they are fun. It's just I would be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know what they would be planning. If it's a Resident Evil, it's almost guaranteed to be 5.
Oh. No, I mean, yeah, it would. That's more than likely. If they're going back and redoing stuff, it might not be Resident Evil. We might get Dino Crisis,
which would be fan-fucking-tastic.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I bet that would sell a lot. Yeah. That sounds like. Yeah.
A Dino Crisis fucking remake that's based off of the RE engine would probably be pretty fucking solid.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're teasing everybody, Eventually they'll... I'm just hoping we don't get our hopes up, because this is the problem, though, right? Like, as a fan, we all can imagine, like, the best thing possible, and then for some reason the companies never match that expectation. They're like just short.
Nothing will ever match your imagination, because we all imagine exactly what we want. I mean, it's kind of like trying to please fans that go to see some movie or something like that. I mean, it's never it's never gonna be what you hoped it was gonna be 100%.
Yeah,
Like,
so then I'm trying
when
to
they add, when they add voice acting to a game that didn't have it before, and all of a sudden the character isn't quite what you thought maybe he was.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, because now that I'm looking at a list, like their top 10 like biggest franchises, there is one of them that ends up being on here where if they were to do another game of this, I would cream in my fucking drawers tonight.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Fucking Onimusha.
Oh fuck,
Oh, dude, that
Right?
You know,
I
I still
love a
need
new
to beat
Onimusha.
4. I need to
again
beat
though.
4.
Why haven't they made another? Yeah, why haven't they made another one?
I
Right,
think
like it's a cash cow.
I want to say I have 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You do.
But I don't have.
And we also have Genma Onimusha.
I do have Genma. I'm missing one. I can't remember what I'm missing.
Hold on, I can. Wait, Onimusha Warlords, was that one of them?
No, that's the first game. I know what I'm missing.
Oh yeah.
There was an Onimusha that was a tactics game.
Yep, Onimusha Tactics.
I don't have tactics.
Wait, do we got Blade Warriors?
Yes.
And I guess
Whoa.
I love the
Where was that excitement? Where was that excitement?
Blade Warriors is fucking garbage.
I couldn't remember if we had it regardless.
Seth is like a new Onimusha. Bill's like, oh yeah. Then you're what was the other game you just said?
Oh, Onimusha Tactics was the GBA game.
Yep.
Yep.
It was really good. I had it. I don't have it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember that we had it for and we used to play the shit out of it.
I'm sure this is going to be wonderful to look at. Fucking, let's see. Oh, actually, hey, that's a pretty fair price. I see a copy of it for $13.94.
Oh, tactics?
Which is understandable.
Well,
yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of those games where it's not like people are super clamoring to go get it, even though fucking all of us would. Well, maybe
I mean,
not
still.
Shane.
Yeah, Shane's not big on the tactics games. I mean, he likes some, but not like a lot of them.
We are at our 2-hour mark. We did it. We ran an entire episode with fans. If this worked well enough that I think that this can become a fairly regular thing.
Yep.
And maybe it's not a bad idea to kind of push ourselves in different directions and kind of play around with this idea again, because like we need to be careful not to burn out. I'm not saying that we completely leave behind doing the photos and things like that, because if we're in the right mood and we're ready to do it, sometimes we got some of the best jokes, best material, and had some of the most fun just like fucking looking through pictures and rating. But like we really need to kick back to our roots and just have fun and talk about a bunch of shit and run some tactics and shit again. Run some topics and like we need
some tactics.
Where did you find that game, Nick, for $13?
Hold on.
I'm on Amazon and they want. I'm on Amazon and they want $75.
Well, that's
this was a loose cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this one's still in box.
Game Shop has it for $13.94. Button Delight has it for $40, but I think it's because it comes with the package.
Which is fair. If it's in box, even if it's
Buy to Play Game has it for $10.43.
Awesome.
Plus shipping.
I mean, yeah, of course.
UPS next day delivery.
Then again, there's a shit ton of them that are just like, yeah, fucking $100, and I'm like, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one on Amazon is in box. There's only one left, and it's like $75.
Is it sealed in box or just in box?
It's used, so it's in. It's just in box.
Okay. Just in box.
Then that's somebody being an ass wagon. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of how the collector's market goes, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
All right,
Indeed.
Shane, tell them